All right. I believe we are live. Welcome to the return of the policy. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I hope my internet connection stays okay. I was not having any issues until I started this meeting. Carol will be joining us shortly. I saw the agenda. The main thing we're going to talk about today is revisiting a rewrite of the complete street policy, which got on hold because of COVID. And then there was one more item. Infrastructure efforts that we can talk about. Unless anyone else has something they would like to add to our agenda, we can go ahead and get started with that. Sound good? Okay. All right. So has everyone had a chance to go back to our document? Our rewrite?
It's on the Google Docs, is that right?
Yeah. I'm trying to pull it back up. Come on. And I'll share screen. All right. Can y'all see my screen?
No, it's just, yeah. Nope.
Oh, share. I told you to share. Share it. Hello.
Okay. I think it's because you don't have any video feed.
Right.
All right. So let me
let's see. I do have video. It's telling me I can stop video.
I can share it if you want, if you'll tell me which file you're looking at. Oh, wait, here we go. Here we go. It's coming. Yay.
You got this. Complete Streets Policy Rewrite.
Yes.
Great. Okay. This is where we left off. Elliot. And did you also do the benefits? Someone did the benefits.
Let's see.
I think our equity section was the most drafty because we were to get some feedback on that. Aaron, you had done applicability and requirements.
Correct.
Questions. Yeah. Yeah, again, I think the equity part was the most drafty. So I think it's still possible for us to get some kind of draft in front of the Mayor and Commission before the end of the year, before the end of the calendar year. And then we can say like, "Yay, we did something." I mean, we did other things too. We had like the e-scooter statement and whatnot, but I think that this would be a really important contribution on our part.
Right.
And now Elliot said that Savannah's still working on their Complete Streets document. You had sent us the latest draft. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I mean, I think they have dealt with similar COVID-related delays in, sort of policy action on multiple fronts as their city council. I mean, they have a new mayor as of, I think my election timeline brain is a little messed up, but I think they literally have a new mayor as of a few months ago. So
Okay.
So part of it was that as well, but
Right. And they still have to update their bike and pedestrian master plan and everything too, right?
they don't really have much of one, to be honest. And I think that's
Okay, right.
That's part of what that's kind of part of what they're asking about. So so yeah, they arguably that's something they need to do more of. They have some planning documents that talk about biking and walking and trails, but they don't really have like a single document the way Athens does.
Right. The timeline. We, as a whole commission, next week, September. Maybe we can put something before for the Athens in Motion Commission in October. On this document, I can't see your faces, so if you can give me verbal affirmation or
I'm not officially on the committee, but I will definitely, read through it and make lots of comments on it if you would like.
And it would probably help to look, Teresa, before you even look at this policy, to look at the National Complete Streets Coalition, like their model policy, to kind of look at the language we're using versus what's considered to be sort of like best practice by the people that actually kind of work on this stuff kind of on a more day-to-day level with cities, counties, communities.
I'll definitely do that, because my initial take on this is just there's a lot of, it's kind of a meta language that I'm reading. It's writing about a policy rather than a policy per se.
Hey, Lauren.
Yes.
Before this goes to mayor and commission, it needs to go to Steve Decker.
Thank you, Hillary.
You're welcome.
I hope I spelled that right.
Yes, you did. It'll be Steve Decker and Tim Griffith. So the director of public works and the traffic engineer is who needs to review the document.
I'm sorry, did you say Kim or Ken?
Tim, T-I-M, Griffith.
Oh, Tim. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
I did not get that. Of course, Tim. I'm like, who's this person?
Tim.
Okay. Say December question mark, because they might have a lot going on. Yeah. So Elliot, I appreciate you mentioning the language and whatnot, what we're considering. One of the criticisms of our previous policy, is not enough strength behind the language, if I remember correctly. Trying to go back to that.
Yeah, I mean, I think not as much about implementation, which obviously, and I think we have Athens in Motion as sort of an implementation document. If Athens in Motion is sort of an implementation document that is somewhat predicated on funding, right? I mean, I think what this is attempting to do is to put Athens in Motion was adopted, right? Or accepted, but not adopted, right? So like the language is always a little bit weird about sort of what the role of Athens in Motion is. And I think in a lot of ways, the language here is attempting to be in some ways broader than Athens in Motion.
Is this,
sort of inclusive of, but also broader than Athens in Motion.
and this is something that the mayor and commission would vote on to abide by?
Yes, I mean, they would be adopting it for for Athens-Clarke County and all, ostensibly it's ostensibly directing staff, AKA Blaine and the people that work under Blaine, like Steve and like Tim, that this is, this is the policy of the county.
Right.
So it has some teeth. So if they say we're going to follow this, it's our policy, then if they don't follow it, they have to
Right.
explain that somehow, put that in the record?
Yep. Yeah, usually good complete streets policies will be very clear about exceptions to them, and so that if you're going to make an exception, you actually have to kind of be very specific about you don't want to include that many exceptions, right? But like,
Right.
for instance, you're not going to build bike lanes on an interstate because that's a limited access roadway. That's just one idea. But yeah, so exemptions are kind of a crucial part of it. Really, what you're giving commissioners, but also residents, right? You're giving them something they can point at to say, well, we need something we need something different within our right of way. Why, what does the complete streets policy say? What does Athens in Motion say?
Okay.
The exemption number 4 is always, right? That's always the one that's tricky, right? At the discretion of the TPW director, because they can pull projects out or what have you if they didn't want. That's always one of those tricky ones. It's like most chief engineers or directors, they want the ability to kind of exempt projects. But of course, like if you get one, I don't think Steve is, but if you do get somebody that's hostile, then it becomes a difficult situation. But again, my experience is that Steve is not hostile.
So there's no way to hedge that a little bit?
So I'm just gonna interject here. This policy won't move forward if that's not in there.
Oh,
yeah, exactly. That's the
okay,
that's the
fine.
rub. Yeah.
Fine.
So Carol joined us. Hi, Carol. Back-to-back meetings today, huh?
I guess she's
Yes.
muted.
Yes.
Hi, Carol.
Hi, Teresa.
Yeah, so Carol, we were just talking about about language where we left off with this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw that there.
Cool. Yeah.
In December, do we mean before the mayor and commission for an agenda setting meeting?
We'll need to clarify process because, and I think that's something I have to look into through the manager's office, what route this goes in, whether it's us presenting it at a work session or it's through a memo through you guys. I'm not actually sure how this gets before them and who is going to be presenting it because I will be more than likely gone by December, and I'm not exactly sure if the replacement would be capable of doing this kind of presentation right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. So you're trying to figure out, like, is this staff that presents it? Is that what you're saying? Are you saying that it has to be staff, or are you saying, like, is it staff?
Well, work sessions are typically only staff, I believe. I don't think you all or any commission does presentations at work sessions. I just have to check on that. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
Oh, also, and even just to get on the agenda cycle takes a little bit before said agenda cycle. So I don't know if we would make it in December. realistically if it's an agenda cycle.
Yeah, and that's okay. I think I really am just trying to underscore a desire to start to get things rolling on it. And I mean, if it happens in January or even February, that's okay.
Well, you'd have one certain vote here.
Thanks, Carol. What we could even put in here that would make you be like, no, no vote. So how are we feeling about this document as a whole and the other sections? Do we feel like those are pretty good as is? I feel like that with the equity section, that they were pretty put together and ready for the rest of the commission to review, the rest of the Athens in Motion Commission. What do y'all think?
I think can you scroll down a little bit more? Yeah, I mean, I just think I need to get in there and like look at it as a sort of an audience from the outside, whether the parts work together or aren't redundant, and then look at some of the materials that Elliot shared with us as well. I mean, I'd like to do that. Maybe you guys have all been doing that this week already. Erin?
Yeah. I mean, do we think, is our audience really and truly staff? Is it contractors too?
This policy would be for staff.
Yeah.
It would not be part of the contract. It would be something staff use as, you know, this document basically impacts concept, but that's as far as any sort of policy would go, because once you're past concept, you're in design. So this would be impacting the concept that's being created by. It's similar to what we're doing for the Athens in Motion Cherokee Road, Jefferson River Road projects, where we're looking at all users' options and then scale it, you know, deciding what kind of funding is available and where that funding is coming from.
Right, and this is also beyond the stuff that's actually in the plan, like the opportunities for restriping as pavement maintenance comes up, like what you've been doing with Lumpkin and Hull Street and Rock Springs, all that good stuff.
This would not impact plan review. That is completely separate from this document. So private development.
Oh, okay.
This would not impact private development because those are ordinances, not policies.
Okay. Thank you, Hillary. Does anyone else have questions about that? Okay.
Sorry, where is this on the Google Drive? I'm not good at Google Docs, and I can find my edits that I did, but I can't find the actual full document.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Erin, is it okay if I send it to you via email? Would that be easiest?
Sure. Thanks.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. I know, and it has there's a lot of different names in here too.
Yeah.
Also, Craig is trying to join our meeting, but he does not have the link.
Okay.
Let me resend it to him so that there's
Okay.
no cross.
Okay.
I'm going to send this to the rest of you guys too, just so you have it. You can just easily click on it. is ringing? Oh,
That's me, sorry.
all right. Let's see. Did I get all of you in here? Aaron, okay. Craig. CC Topple. So we had a request to a little bit more time to look at what we have because it's been a while. And I think that that's fine to do that.
We're there. I think, Lauren, are we there?
Yeah, I'm here.
I'm here. I'll also try to think about it. I mean, in terms of audience, it is thinking about it from a commissioner standpoint who's going to read it and wanting it to be thinking of all of them reading it and having it make sense so that there's not confusion that would slow its process down. So I'm going to think about it from that way as the writing teacher thinking of that audience as well and what questions even might be asked about it.
Yeah, I mean, I wish that we could be present to present this, to share it. Because I think it's fine. Like I totally trust staff to present this, but if they're not the ones writing it, it's kind of rough for them to have to answer the questions because they will have to explain our thought process, which I think they can relay, but it's a little bit different.
Yeah, especially when they haven't been in on the meetings with us either, like Hillary
Right.
has. But yeah.
Yeah,
Who will be doing the presentation?
we're trying to figure that out.
Okay.
I'll be getting an answer back to you about process because it might not even need to be a presentation. I'm not really, I don't think the first time it was a work session, I think it was something just signed by the mayor. So I'm not entirely sure, but that was also 10 years ago that it was done. So different processes, different transparency now.
Okay. I would like to set up our next meeting to continue with this. So, ideally in less than a month. So we have our full commission meeting next Tuesday. Let's see.
How about in 2 weeks?
Okay. On Tuesday again?
Yeah.
Tuesday at 5 on the 29th.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking to see if I can give you guys a shortcut to the folder where this stuff is, so you can have a chance to look, review the documents we have in there, several which Elliot has shared with us, like the National Complete Streets Coalition Policy Review, and several other documents.
So I mean, I think it's, hey, Aaron?
Yeah. Yeah.
If you get in, do you know how to get into the Athens in Motion folder?
Well, yeah. No, I'm looking right now. It's shared with me, and I see a bunch of stuff I see the complete streets. But honestly, no, I don't see on mine where the actual folder is for Athens in Motion. I know we don't need to spend a whole lot of time on this right now. Sorry. I at least see what's been shared with me.
But I think if you just go up to the My Drive on the left, on the left, instead of going to shared with me,
Right.
there's a folder there that's going to say complete streets. I mean, go to say Athens.
Yeah. Now I've got my drive I go to, and I see some of the documents that I've worked on. Then I go to shared with me, and I see a lot of the documents that we have worked on, but I don't see, unfortunately, an actual Athens in Motion file, unfortunately. But we can. I know I don't want to hijack
Okay.
the meeting right now on it. So sorry.
Oh, no, it's okay. We're all getting back into this stuff and trying to
Yeah.
figure out what happened.
Yeah.
And where is stuff? So that's okay.
But
Yeah.
I definitely can see the complete streets new policy that Lauren has sent out. So
Okay.
thanks.
All right. So we'll meet. So with regard to specifically this issue, we'll meet again in 2 weeks, and Hillary will be able to explain to us what our process is going to look like, and we'll be able to formulate some steps. Yeah. So there was another item on our agenda. Is there anything else anyone wants to say about the complete streets policy that we're working on before we move on to that? Okay. And this other item,
folks can reach out to me if they have questions specifically about, again, like other Georgia cities or other comparable cities or anything like that. They can reach out to me.
thank you, Elliot, and we really appreciate you being here. You're a great resource. So at our last commission meeting, Carol had mentioned the need to have a policy or a statement or something about trees and tree removal. A lot of projects work around trees, but then in instances like Jefferson River Road does involve like taking down some trees and whatnot. Jake had sent out to the Community Tree Council meeting yesterday. Did anyone get a chance to go to that who was here? I did not. All right. Carol, what were your thoughts on that?
Well, I think it came up in the question when we were talking about Jefferson River Road, and there was sort of a idea that this is going to come up again and again and again, and when we're dealing with roads, and do we have any standard comment policy about trees, tree replacement, that we wanted to say? I don't know. It seemed to come up. I just think of this in the discussion with Ronnie. Teresa, weren't you bringing something up about this?
Yeah, I think I brought up the topic because so many of the trees that will be affected on Jefferson River Road are quite close to the street right now, and they are big and they have a lot of canopy, even though, you know, many of them are at the end of their useful life. I think it's going to be startling to the residents of Jefferson River Road how bare their community feels once the sidewalk construction begins. And so I just was wondering if there was any way to coordinate with the landscaping group or you know, get a grant or something to plug in a few nice trees, you know, if the residents want them in their front yards to replace some of what's going away.
Now, to be clear, if I understand it correctly, we do work with the residents when we take out pieces of landscaping, and in addition to, you know, figuring out how their driveways are. There's
Yes,
a negotiation there, right?
I'm not the appropriate staff member to lead this conversation. That's probably our arborist, or I need to ask who in Public Works could provide better information to everyone here. So, but I do think we have existing things, but it is all dependent on funding.
Mhm.
Right, and I think the thing, but we might want to have someone from the correct person spend like 5 minutes at a meeting explaining to us what is the process when construction actually happens. What is it dependent on, and then perhaps maybe getting something. I mean, I think the statement we want is to have some general statement of policy that we include with recommendations in terms about tree removal and replacement. And so we need to know what's presently happening, and then also to see if there's a possibility of then working with the tree council. You know, if that would that be a supplement? I guess that's kind of where I'm heading with this. Maybe
I have a feeling we already have something. We definitely probably do. And it's more just me getting those materials to you versus you having to create something new.
Yeah, that would be useful. I don't feel a need to dictate what we have to do. I feel like it's a little bit micromanagerial, but I'm curious about it for sure.
Except for if the trees aren't being replaced, I mean, I don't care about how they're replaced, but I mean, I think that them being replaced or the tree cover is a significant point that's going to come up again and again. So
it is, and it is important because we do need to replant as many trees as we can just for our general well-being.
Right. So maybe the first step is finding out what the process is, what the procedure is right now.
For all projects.
For
correct?
all projects, for all.
Yeah. Yeah, it shouldn't be put on what are the sidewalks doing? It's any project, whether it's a road widening or a new road or
Right. What is the general Clarke County?
Because some people will say we don't need sidewalks, but we need roads, and our point is no, we need all of these things. So let's see what the policy is for every single one.
Right. Hillary, can you follow up on that and then maybe like report back at our general meeting in October?
Yeah, if you give me till October, absolutely. Next week, probably not.
Yeah, forget that.
Are you still here in October, Hillary?
As far as I know.
Okay.
And we have another road consideration, sidewalk consideration. I know Hillary's going to be very involved with that.
Hey, buddy.
Yes. I think as far as I know, I'm staying until these ones are wrapped up through mayor and commission and you all. But I'm not sure if that's going to happen with Barber, but TBD.
Okay. All right. Any other business that this committee should discuss, or anything coming up that we need to be aware of that might end up as part of our purview? Yeah.
Carol, did you want me to talk about that presentation last week at the meeting next week? You said you wanted to give me wanted me to give it.
Do you have any notes to do that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I do.
I'll revise my the agenda. Okay, Hillary? I forgot about that with Aaron.
That's fine. I haven't sent it to PIO yet.
Okay, I'll just stick another line. How much time you want, Aaron?
Oh, I think you said 3 minutes. That'd be fine. I just wrote down some notes and some of her findings, which it was interesting, but I don't know. I thought some of the solutions were lacking, but we can talk about that.
Okay. I'll give you 5 minutes.
Okay.
Well, do you happen to know do you happen to remember what the title of that was?
Was it America Walks? Her book was Pedestrian Safety Crisis in America, I thought. The book was The Right of Way, and it was about the pedestrian safety crisis in America.
Yeah, Angie Schmidt.
Yes.
Yep. And
Yes.
yeah. And Charles Brown, who helped her with that book and wrote the foreword, spoke at our summit. Carol, I think you said a couple years ago.
And the book's on its way to my house right now.
I have a feeling the
Yes.
book was, I think she had to condense a lot of that presentation into a lot of that book into a very short presentation. So I'm sure there's a lot more to it that she could expound upon that she didn't have time to talk about in the presentation. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I'm picking that book up from Avid once it gets there later this month. So look forward to reading it.
I thought the stuff about the size of the cars was interesting.
Mhm.
It was. Yeah.
Yeah. As another thing, I think y'all are aware that the Georgia Bike Summit is this week, and it's entirely online, 17th through the 19th. And it's free.
And it's free.
There's a lot of good stuff that transit nerds will love.
Yeah.
But more than
Plenty.
transit nerds like us.
Plenty to look at.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else? All right. We have another meeting in 2 weeks.
Okay.
We are getting the ball rolling again. Gonna happen. COVID won't stop us.
No, ma'am.
Yes.
All right.
All right. I guess I will adjourn this meeting.
Thanks, Lauren. Appreciate it. Thanks, y'all.
Thank you, Lauren.